What's up, guys? I want to break down the trade that I took this morning in EURUSD. It was total of 11 risk reward. However, I did catch a 7R within that range, and I'm going to break it down. However, first I will say that the purpose of this video is for educational purposes, obviously, for my own and for anybody else, the two other guys that are probably going to watch this. And I hope that you gain some value out of it, and it is my way of preparing for a life-funded account. I am a profitable trader. I have been trading for 3 years. I recently switched from an algorithm-based trading. This is my algo here that I kind of put together to support and resistance order block base trade. I guess you can call it scalping because my entry time frames are very low, and I have caught 30 risk rewards, 20 risk rewards, 15 risk rewards before. Full disclosure, I did attempt an FTMO challenge. However, I did fail because I was very conservative with my entry parameters, and I did not make that target. Plus, the month was really bad that month. So this is my attempt to become a funded trader and offer what I know, what I've gained, what works and what doesn't work for me personally, and I hope that you gain some value from it. And to the one or two guys that are watching this, if you have any questions about anything else, please let me know. Any type of videos that you want me to make or something like that, just go ahead and shoot me a message or a comment, and I'll make it and try to answer it as best as I possibly can. So let me see. So coming down, I always do two things. First of all, I wake up, I stretch, I meditate a little bit, and I check the news. Today we had news on the US dollar, and you need to understand that, especially now more than ever, news affects price, and you have to be able to understand how to read the news. So at 7 o'clock, I was expecting red folder news. Red folder news is the one that you should just focus on primarily. So you click on the folder here, right? You go to forexfactory.com. So you click on this folder here, and actual greater than forecast is good for currency. So if it's good for a currency, that means that it has to be higher than this number, right? So it became lower than this number. That means that the US dollar is going to be weak. So we expect weakness in the US dollar. So now we're buying euro, we're selling the US dollar. That's why that's what this news candle was about right here. So it's 5 o'clock scenario. It's 5 o'clock. I'm looking at the chart. Okay, well, I'm expecting some sort of rejection from this daily order block. However, I know that we still have to take out this liquidity, that liquidity before we sort of mitigate. Well, this order block's already mitigated, but before we tap into it again. However, that doesn't matter because we're trading lower time frames anyway. However, this move is more likely. I switched down through my time frames, and I understand that there's a big rejection. So we are in a bullish impulse here. 4 o'clock, 4 hours. We're still bullish all the way down to the 1 hour. And the 1 hour is usually the one that I kind of the use for overall direction. Now, I do prepare for a sell and a buy. So I'm going to rewind price here to 5 o'clock. Okay, so before the news came out, an hour before the news, 2 hours before the news came out. So this is what I'm looking at in the morning. Now I'm looking at how price impulse from down here. There is some unmitigated order blocks down here, so I do expect some sort of rejection from the top. But if we are following the trend, we understand that, to me, this order block here is the one that I want price to hit before I take the buy. However, sometimes you're not going to get that move. You have to get the move that you're given. You have to get into the move that you're given sometimes. Or if you're more patient, you can wait for this, or you can wait for this order block or this order block, because this is the range that we're trading in. This and this, that's the range. And right here in the middle, it's a little bit less probability, but because we are using smaller time frames, it's, if we catch 15, 20, 30 pips, that's all we really need. So I look at this, I see that there's a 1 hour order block here, so that's definitely bullish for me, and that's definitely where I'm going to want to look for a reversal to ride it to the top. Now I switch to my 15-minute here. I see that there's this huge wicks over here, and sweeping all kinds of liquidity here. Some people put their stops under here, some people put their stops under here, and this one came in and took out all the stops. At the same time, you have order block, you have liquidity sweeps, you have bullish quasis. Quasi is basically like a head and shoulders type of pattern, but don't worry, it doesn't have to be like, oh, it has to be exactly this, or no, you could use the base or the wick, it doesn't matter. This is just a confirmation pattern. That's what it is. So it's starting to form. Whenever I see this, I use this as a confirmation. Another confirmation is I have a liquidity trend line here. Liquidity because there is orders on top of this liquidity. You're writing it down, right? So we break, we come back down, we break, we come back down, and we break again here. And why is this more significant? It's more significant because it's the New York Open. So now let's go ahead one, and that should be, oh, hold on. Okay, so let's go down here. Okay, so now my entry is I'm going to be looking at the 5 and the 1 minute. The 5, 3, 2, 1 minute, depending. I usually use all three, but don't confuse yourself. You can use the 5 minute, you can use the 1 minute. Don't try to go crazy with time frames until you really understand. So my first entry ideally would want to be there. Oh, another reason why I chose a buy here is because it's on the 50%. Let me show you real quick. It's under the 50%. So if I take this low to this high, right? This low to this high, the 50% mark is here. We also ran the liquidity of this wick over here. So, and then you're starting to have all kinds of wicks. So look, bullish order block, right? Liquidity sweeps. You have these liquidity sweeps, right? These wicks. You got bullish quasis. You tap the 50%. My entry parameter is 1%, and it's minimum 1 to 3. However, I did break that rule, and I kind of paid for it today because I could have gotten more. But hey, you know what? Tomorrow's another day. So let me see. It's 5 o'clock. All right, 4:30. I'm looking at the 1 minute. Okay, so I'm looking at the 1 minute. I understand that you have these quasis, this major quasis forming, and on top of that you have left head, right shoulder. You have another quasi forming over here. So a bunch of good stuff happening here for the bull side. But there is a 15-minute bearish order block here, which is the target, which is my first target. However, I do expect it to be ran, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay, so now let's keep moving forward. All right, so I did take this trade here off of this 5-minute order block. Okay, I did take this trade here, and it stopped me out. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, all right, so that's what happened. Okay, so let's say it's around 5 o'clock. I started monitoring this trade, and I wanted it to tap here before it took off, but it overshot it. It went into this order block. It's a different order block that I marked. It's also a 5-minute. Right? And this is a stronger order block. Why is this a stronger order block? Because the candle after it swept the previous liquidity, right? So I should have done that instead, however. Okay, so that's minus 1 hour. No big deal. It's not a problem. I'm willing to take two losses per day, and that's it. Okay, so it's still part of it. I got my second entry right here, right? And the reason why I put it under is because it's under the 1 hour order block, and it's under this 5-minute order block, so it's more protected. And also, if price breaks under this, it breaks it and closes it under this, then it's going to be a sell. This trade is invalidated anyway, and I just got the direction wrong anyway. But it's highly unlikely because there's still a lot of liquidity waiting to, usually what it does is it sweeps that liquidity and then it breaks through. So let's see what happens. Okay, so we have, I'm monitoring on the 5, I'm monitoring on the 1 minute, but after we get this bullish, bearish, bullish order block, I switch to the 5 minute, because don't drive yourself crazy. Okay, do not drive yourself crazy trying to figure out if price is going to go up or down. No, this is just an entry. This is only for entry, not for monitoring. Don't monitor your trades. That was one of my biggest mistakes, monitoring the trades based on the lower time frames. I usually monitor with the 3, the 5, and after a while I switch it to the 15. So I'm in it right here. Okay, all right, so I took some partials here because of this crazy wick. We pierced right through the 15 minute. Okay, and this wick is crazy. So I'm like, well, we could either fill in the rest of that wick or we can reverse here. However, I did have a sell bias here because this is a good 15-minute order block. And I'll tell you why it's a good 15-minute. Why? Because this wick took out the previous liquidity for that one. It's not the best, but it's a pretty decent order block. And that's why you have all these rejections here. You could have caught, 1 to 3s right here, or 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s right here. Yeah, I could have caught a 1 to 3 if you sold here from here, but it was like 4 in the morning, so you probably wouldn't have. Anyway, I did take 50%, move my stop loss to break even, and let the rest ride. So at this point, once I took my profit, we got that news, or we got close to that news, and then price just went crazy, right? So price just went crazy, and this is how I monitored my trade. Okay, all the way up to here, and I usually don't use the 618 level to take profit, but I was looking at this because I understand that, okay, well, what does price want to do? Well, it took out this liquidity right here, it took out that liquidity right there, so now the next liquidity is up here and then the rest of this order block, right? Or it could wick and then come back down. And usually that's what happens with crazy moves like that. We are going to see some kind of pullback and then continuation, or a shift in momentum, right? So I did take profit right there for like a 12 risk reward ratio. However, I cut my position in half, so I was technically, altogether I made a 7. Okay, with this loss plus 3 losses that I took last week, I'm still up 3%. On a 100K account, that's $3,000 with a 1% risk. That's all you need for your week. That's literally it. And then that doesn't count for tomorrow's trade and then the trades after that. So we keep going there, and that was a pretty good take profit, because obviously, we did have some kind of reversal there. But also, you don't want to be on the charts all day, right? So the reason why I'm making this video is for like the 2 guys that are gonna watch this. Appreciate your time. I hope that it offers some value to you. I know that it's helping me in being able to explain what I know a little bit better and retain it a little bit better. And I do plan on taking another challenge, because I did fail my last one because I was too conservative. I did not meet the target. However, November, December are terrible months, so I'm going to start January, February. So you gotta shoot for your dreams, guys. You know what I mean? I let go of my business. I'm a mechanic. I would sell cars, I would flip cars and stuff like that. But my kid's 10 years old, 11 years old now, and I've missed a lot. And this is why I'm here, and I'm gonna do it. And if you stick with me on this journey, you'll probably see me with a funded account the next quarter. And I'm not gonna stop until I get there. I'm studying every day, and I hope that if you're on the same journey, I will be live streaming some of my live trades, because I know that that's the game changer for me. My mentor streams his trades every day, so I plan to do the same for whoever follows. And at the same time, I'm treating this as an FDMO challenge, so it's important to trade the bad months too, so you know what they're like. So yeah, 1% risk, guys. and let's see how we finish the month. Anyway, have a good one, and if you guys have any video recommendations or have any questions, go ahead and let me know.